Okay, we have graduated past the try these at home demonstrations to the do not try these at home demonstrations because we're using electricity today. Okay, and what we're going to talk about is this.
Light bulb. Light bulb.
It is a light bulb. This is a special kind of light bulb
It's a lit
though.
bulb.
This is the old kind of light bulb. Okay, this is called an incandescent light bulb, but now there's all kinds of light bulbs like fluorescent light bulbs and LED light bulbs and halogen light bulbs. We're not going to talk about those today. We can have a lesson on those some other time, but today we're going to talk about this. Because this is going to be a lesson for us in problem solving.
Why?
Okay? Because the way a light bulb works, in order to get the light, electricity comes up one side, goes across the middle, and down the other. And when it goes across the middle, the metal that's there heats up and glows. That's why it lights up. And if you look real close, you can see it glowing in the center there still. And I just blinded myself.
Me too. The second time.
Okay? So, that's how they got that to light when they're inventing the light bulb. But there's a problem. Okay? I have here another one that I've taken the bulb off of. Watch what happens when I turn it on.
Whoa.
It burns right up.
That's totally safe.
It's totally safe, not? Okay, the reason it burns up is because when that metal there heats up, if there's oxygen around it, it burns, like you just saw. So what they had to do is they had to figure out a way to keep the oxygen away from that metal. That's why there's glass around your light bulb. Because inside, what they've done is they've taken out all the oxygen and replaced it with a different gas called argon. Okay? And inside there's no oxygen, so when the thing comes on and heats up, it can't burn. So that's why we get good light. I should warn you before I do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what we're going to do is I have here my setup for my homemade light bulb. Okay, and we're going to try to make a homemade light bulb. And so I have my two pieces that brings the electricity up, and for our filament, for the piece that goes across, we're going to use a piece of graphite from a pencil. Okay, now what I've learned in practicing this is that not all graphite is the same, even from the same pencil. And sometimes what I have is a homemade light bulb, and sometimes what I have is a homemade graphite exploder. Okay, I figured you'd like it either way. So I brought it, and we're going to hope it's a light bulb. So I'm going to hook it up to the electricity. Okay, and I'm going to test it to see if it glows first. Okay, so we're going to see if I can get it to glow. Yep, there it's coming. There we go. Okay, so we got a glow. But I don't want to leave it on because there's oxygen around it. And if I leave it on, it's going to burn out just like the other bulb that I showed you did. So I have to figure out a way to get the oxygen away from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jar and my balloon that I have full of helium. And helium's lighter than air, so I'm going to let it go, and it's going to put the helium into the jar and push the air out because helium's lighter than air. Okay, so it's going to push it out. So even though you can't see the helium going in, it's going into the jar, and it's pushing out all the air. I can actually feel the air moving out on my fingers. So if I do this carefully, eventually I will have a jar full of helium from the balloon, and all the air and all the oxygen will be pushed out. So there should be no oxygen in my bottle, in my jar. So now when I put it on here, I should be able to turn on my light bulb and have it work and glow for us a little bit because the oxygen's all gone. It won't burn up. Okay, and there we go. And if the sun was off, we'd have a nice little light bulb for our room. Okay, but I can't turn the sun off. I talked with God. He doesn't, he said we're leaving the sun on today. Now, I brought this in to show you because this is like us. We want to let our light shine for God. But if we do it with certain things around us, like the bad stuff in our lives, that's like the oxygen. And what's going to happen is we're going to burn, and we might have a little light, but it's going to burn out. What we have to do is we have to get that bad stuff away from us. And the only way to do it is to replace it with something else. So like in this experiment, I replaced the oxygen with helium. What we can do is we can talk to God and ask God to take all the bad stuff away and replace it with the Holy Spirit. And He'll do that, and then we can let our light shine for God and be a nice, successful light bulb. All right? Let's get ready for the second half.